As many of you probably know, the 1920s was a time of crazes. Dance crazes like the Charleston and the Black Bottom, crazes for activities like mahjong or crossword puzzles, the flagpole sitting craze. And in this video, we're going to talk about another of these crazes, the ukulele craze. What do Buster Keaton, Clara Bow, Gloria Swanson, and Olive Thomas have in common? Well, aside from all of them being actors, they also all played a ukulele on a movie screen in the 1920s. And I will be showing those clips throughout this video, so don't worry. So, what was up with ukuleles? Unlike a lot of the other crazes of the 1920s, the popularity of ukuleles lasted for pretty much the entire decade, and we'll get into some of the reasons for that later in the video. But first, how did it all begin? Well, Hawaii had only relatively recently become part of the United States, first being annexed in 1898 and then made a territory in 1900. And of course, the native Hawaiian culture was drastically different from that of the mainland US. The origins of the craze go back to the 1915 Panama Pacific International Exposition in San Francisco. At this popular event, visitors could see real Hawaiians playing some of their native instruments. However, the ukulele specifically didn't get much of the attention, but more so the Hawaiian guitar, due to its interesting and unique sound. A demand for Hawaiian music quickly developed, and this newfound enthusiasm merged with the cultural force of Tin Pan Alley, which was responsible for making a massive amount of popular songs. Because of the popularity of Hawaiian music in general, the ukulele eventually took the spotlight, partly for its different and subtler sound perhaps, but mostly for its practicality. Ukuleles were small, cheap, portable, and easier to play than a standard guitar or banjo. It was very convenient to bring to a party or gathering to provide some amateur entertainment. Among the primary beneficiaries of the relative prosperity of the 1920s were young middle-class people. And they not only loved parties, they were also the driving force behind cultural trends. And this demographic usually went to college, where ukuleles just so happened to get especially popular. As ukuleles became more and more popular, there were more products tailored specifically for their use, such as songbooks and instruction books. And by 1925, 4 million ukuleles had been sold in the 10 years since their introduction to the continental United States, which made them the top-selling instrument in the country. In addition to normal ukuleles, there were also banjo ukuleles, which were first made in 1917. And banjo ukuleles also became quite popular during the craze. In fact, here's a clip of Clara Bow playing one in her famous movie, It. We can't forget too that there were a number of famous ukulele musicians in the 1920s, such household names as Johnny Marvin, Wendell Hall, and Cliff Edwards, also known as Ukulele Ike, all of who were extremely popular entertainers. And this also further contributed to the popularity of the instrument. And it's important to note that these musicians didn't rely on the Hawaiianness of the ukulele, and most of the songs they used them in weren't about the instruments themselves or Hawaii. They were just normal pop songs that happened to be played on a ukulele. In other words, it was another sign that ukuleles had gone completely mainstream. Another reason for why ukuleles became so popular in the first place was the larger cultural trend of exoticism. In 1920s America, there was a widespread fascination for faraway places with different cultures and styles. And the discovery of King Tut's tomb in 1922 accelerated the trend into the mainstream. The styles of ancient Egypt, Rome, Greece, China, Japan, India, and the Americas all experienced a revival and were incorporated into the ultra-modern Art Deco style. And the image of Hawaiian hula dancers on a tropical isle fit right into this general yearning for exotic things. But that mostly would have factored into the initial spark of the craze, when it was part of the overall trend of Hawaiian music. The reason the craze didn't go away after only a year or two like most novelties was because of the other reasons I said before: the convenience, the practicality, the widespread exposure through musicians, and because it was easy to play. While the popularity of the ukulele was in decline in the later years of the decade, it could still be seen. In fact, it was in the 1929 musical The Hollywood Review of 1929 that Cliff Edwards introduced the well-known song Singin' in the Rain, which he played on a ukulele, of course.
I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling, I'm happy again.
And in another 1929 musical, The Broadway Melody, actress Bessie Love played one too. The ukulele craze might not have been as outrageous and absurd as a number of other crazes from the 1920s, but it was ever present, especially among the middle-class younger set. And the lack of complete craziness is the reason why this video is so short. Yet despite this, even today, the ukulele craze is still a pretty well-known 1920s trend. Well, I guess that's pretty much everything there is to say about this. So, that's all for now, all you sheiks and gals out there, but stay tuned for more tales from the Jazz Age.
Gather round, you ukulele players. Gather round, you hey, hey, hayers. When I get through, you'll throw your ukes away.